Well, hello, everybody. Welcome in tonight for a very unusual. Well, doggone it. Just quieting that. Anyway, welcome in. We normally don't do a Sunday show, but I thought, what the heck? I'm in a hotel. I got time. Why not do a show? Let me get the ticker up there, and we'll jump right in. It's football day, of course. I didn't get to go to church. My church put it online. I hadn't had a chance to watch it yet. And I just finished watching the Cowboys and Giants game, and I'll have some comments on that. We'll talk about RE Garrison, give everybody an update. Everybody's been asking about it. Currently got the Eagles and the Chiefs on. Looks like the Eagles are winning 13-10 right now, and they're in the third quarter. All right, before we go any further, let's say hello to our channel members. We have got an enormous amount of those right now. And I've got a new mouse. I went to Walmart and got me a mouse, so this is going to be much easier than it has been. Starting off, well, it's doing that thing it does. Robbie Ross, Ramon, Adam, Newman Attack, Adam again, Poplars. Let's see here. Man, I got to start printing this out. It's hard to do. Poplars. And then we go to, man, I don't know why it does this. It just gives you a couple of seconds. Ian and good grief, stop it. Mark Ely, Lance Calhoun, 18-wheeler, Jordan. Man, this is... I apologize, folks. I don't know why it's so difficult to do this. When I get down there, it moves. Andrew. P.U. Patel. Jay Leatherman. Craig Hutchison. Chris Bollinger. Roar Fit. Ohio Trucker. The Incredible Bulk. Racing Ray. Corey Oatley. Brad. RGB. ROG Ford. And Davenport family and Fran Mariah. I appreciate all of you. Looks like there's 26 of you currently. And I appreciate y'all supporting the channel like you do. Let me give you some thoughts on the Cowboys, then we'll read your comments, and then I'll circle back around to RE Garrison, trying to give everybody time to get in here. A bunch of people text me when they saw the notification, said they weren't going to be here. For various reasons. So we may catch a lot of people on the replay. But let's talk about the Cowboys game real quick. The Cowboys got lucky. I think that Russell Wilson had probably the best game I've seen him have since he was all the way back at Seattle. He threw for almost 500 yards. But the Giants kept getting themselves in trouble with penalties. They, in my opinion, were probably the better team today, but just penalties ate them alive. Having said all that, the Cowboys rallied, and when they needed to, they scored. And when the defense needed to, it made stops. So it was a nail-biter all the way till late in overtime. And the Cowboys eked it out. I think about 2 or 3 minutes left to go in the game. That Brandon Aubrey kicked a ridiculously long field goal. And, I can remember in the NFL when if you kicked a 50-yarder, that was a big deal. We got guys in the NFL now that can kick one 60, 65 yards. It's crazy. And I don't know what the difference is, if there's better kicking shoes available now, if there's better training techniques available now, or what, but it's fun to watch them do some of the things they're able to do now. And so tell me what games you've been watching today, what you think about them. And I'm going to go ahead and read a few of these comments, and then we'll talk about RE Garrison. Ted Van Buskirk says, hello, sir. Hope all is well. Yes, sir. Doing good. People that have seen me lately say I look a lot better. I look a lot less stressed. I looked a little better rested. And so I'm looking forward to talking about RE Garrison, what's happened this week, what I think is going to happen tomorrow when I go up there. I'm supposed to be up there at noon tomorrow, so we'll talk about all of that. Here's somebody I hadn't seen in a while. Hey, Todd, Becca here from Wilmoth Trucking. Hope you're doing well. Yes, ma'am, I'm doing great. How are you and your better half doing? Hadn't seen y'all in a while. I was wondering about y'all. And Dawn says, it's been a while. Good to see you back. Yes, sir. I've been pumping out the content this week because I was in orientation, had time. Basically, it's supposed to go 2.5 days, Monday, Tuesday, and half a day Wednesday. Since the truck selection has been kind of scarce, I really did 2 days, and then I've been having to go up there once or twice a day and check in to find out what's available and things like that, get updated. But like I said, we'll get into that here in just a minute. And Roger Berry, hope you got a truck and on the road, laying over in Norcross, Georgia. Unload first thing in the morning. No, not yet. I'm not stressed at all. They don't do anything really on the weekends. Friday, they only had one additional truck to look at. And initially, I thought I wanted it, but upon closer inspection, I passed on it. They said they're going to get 12 in over the weekend and on Monday. But, the shop runs a skeleton crew on the weekend, so they didn't know how many of those they'd have a chance to look at. They prioritize on the weekends, especially driver trucks that are needing to get stuff done so they can keep rolling. You can't really blame them for that. So there's a good possibility it'll be Tuesday before I get a truck. You guys will know, or you folks, guys and gals, will know when I get a truck because I'll put a video out. I'll show you the truck. All of that. I'll tell you what my first load is and all of that. So let me get a couple more comments in, and then I'll tell you how this week went. PG Beats, when did you come over here? Tomorrow will be a week ago. My first day of orientation was this past Monday. And our class was the first class. Well, no, let me say this. The class before us, they do orientation every Monday. The class before us was the first time they'd had it where they didn't have enough trucks for everybody, is my understanding. Our class was the first class that they started paying them to wait. And so far, and I can go ahead and say this, everything that they've told me has either been exactly what they said or better than what they said. And when I say better, it's because they made some of those changes I'm talking about. Like I said, we were technically the second class to experience that. So what I've been doing is taking advantage of my time. I've tested the office on a couple of things recently, and they've passed all the tests so far with flying colors. I'm really proud to be here at this point. I've also done, though, is I'll go around the terminal and randomly pick out drivers out in the parking lot or in the break room, and I'll say, hey, what's the real scoop around here? Tell me what it's really like. And so far, I've yet to find anybody that wasn't happy here. Now, I know a company with almost 900 trucks. There's going to be some disgruntled people, and I hope to find some of them because I would like to hear why they're disgruntled and see if they've got valid complaints or if it's baloney. I know no company's perfect, and I'm not saying these guys are perfect, but I'm saying so far, integrity-wise, they've been perfect. Now, I have not talked to my driver manager, fleet manager, whatever you want to call them yet. She's in Sapulpa, Oklahoma, and I'm told that several of the drivers that work here are like, man, you got one of the good ones. I wish I had her. So I did look her up on LinkedIn, and she's got a pretty extensive trucking background. So I'm feeling pretty positive about that as well. Also, some of you have been asking me, do they have lease purchase? Yes, that's what I'm doing. Do they accept owner-operators? Yes, they do. Do they accept company drivers? Yes. Do they take teams? Yes. So if you've got questions like that, I'll try to answer them as best as I can. I'm not an expert on it by far, not claiming to be. Some of you have made some negative comments. I won't be here in 90 days. I better know a good bankruptcy lawyer. And all of that may be true. I'm not saying this is the greatest company ever or the worst company ever. I'm saying that I'm brand new here, and so far I'm optimistic and my attitude's pretty good. Now, PG Beats, whose comment I've got on the screen right now, he also works at RE Garrison. He's got a channel. Y'all can go check his content out and learn a little bit more about RE Garrison too. I've been watching his videos, and I'm no expert on PG Beats either. I just found him a few days ago, but he seems pretty happy here too, and I've enjoyed his videos. So don't take my word for it. Go check his videos out. In the ticker and in the description of this video, I've got my recruiter's information. If anything I say sounds too good to be true or like I'm blowing smoke at you, call her and verify everything. It's very possible that I've got some of the facts wrong. I've got some of the information wrong. And if something's really critical to you about if you want to make a decision to come here or not, that would be the person to contact and get your questions answered. I'm not going to come on here and intentionally mislead anybody, but I am human. I can make a mistake. I can misunderstand something. So I don't want anybody to come here just off of one comment I made or one comment I did not make. If something's a deal breaker for you, call her and get your questions answered. I would appreciate it if you told her you watch Trucker Todd when you call in, but it's not going to have any bearing on if I help you afterwards. I know there's some channels that they won't help you unless you use their referral code. That's not me. I don't even know what they pay in referrals. I know they have some kind of program. Almost every company does. I've never inquired. Actually, I think I did, but when I did ask, I was talking to so many companies at the time, I don't remember. When they covered it in class, I was in the bathroom and I missed it altogether. And I just hadn't inquired about it. It's not the most important thing. The most important thing is driving the truck. And if you guys want to reward me for the time and effort that I put into these videos and list me, that's great. If it really bothers you that I might benefit, then don't put me down. I'll still help you. So there you go. All right, let's get back into the comments. If y'all have got any questions about RE Garrison, now's probably a good time to ask, because with PG Beats being here and me being here, hopefully between the two of us, we can get your questions answered. It says, Becca says, hubby and I are here in Stratford, Missouri, waiting for a load on Monday. Yeah, a good friend of mine is in Florida right now and having a hard time getting out of there. He had a load that was kind of wacky, and not with RE Garrison. He's on the spot market. He had a load that was kind of wacky, and it held him up, and now he's probably going to have to wait till tomorrow to get a load. So yeah, it's freight market is weird right now. It doesn't matter if you're contract or spot market. When the last load I pulled on the spot market, the last 2 or 3 loads I pulled on the spot market, it seemed like things were getting better. But I know the last few days I've heard a lot of people griping. So maybe the rates are kind of still going up and down and not generally trending up like we're all hoping for. I'll tell you this, though. Everything is ridiculously expensive right now. And I think that's got to change. If you're Joe Sixpack working a regular job 40 hours a week, got a wife and 2.5 kids, and I don't see how you live on $15 an hour right now, and that's double minimum wage. So or right at double minimum wage. It's tough, and I hope it gets better soon. Nick says, "Hey, how's life? I'm doing good, my friend. How are you doing?" I'm doing real good. This is the most relaxed, and I don't know if you can see it in my shoulders even. This is the most relaxed and stress-free I've been in probably a couple of months. We'll just be honest, I was probably real close to having another stroke. I was stressed out, and a lot of things were bothering me. And this has been, one of my friends described it as a reset. And it's been a great reset. That's probably the best definition I've heard. I'm ready to hit the ground running. And so I'm very, very optimistic that possibly Monday, and if not Tuesday at the latest, I'll have a good truck and I can be out there on the road again making money with the best of them. This company also was excited that I lived in Lubbock, and another friend of mine that actually lives in Lubbock, he said, "Oh yeah, I see RE Garrison trucks all the time." And so I'm optimistic that it won't be difficult to get home when that time comes. And I've talked to some drivers and they've told me what they're making. And if that's true, I'm optimistic about that too. I realize that results will vary, and so I'm just kind of playing it by ear. We'll see what happens. But I mean, a lot of people have been real discouraging already, and I think it's way too early to start getting discouraged. And Dean says, "Hello, Todd." Hey, Dean, thank you for being here today. How are you doing? Ian says, Ian, channel member, says, "Good afternoon." Good afternoon, Ian. Thank you for being here. And Pistol Packing Patriot says, "I have arrived." It's good to have you in here today, my friend. Becca says, "We're doing good. I'm just hanging in there, and we're with the company we went to after MN 89. Yeah, it seems like they've been a good fit for you, that new company that you're at, and I'm glad to hear it. Becca and her husband went through kind of a rough patch. They were at a couple of bad companies in a row, and things got pretty dark. I met them when I was at B&Z for those few weeks after my truck burned down, and didn't meet them in person, but we talked and emailed and stuff. And so it's good to see them land on their feet and doing well again. It's so nice to have a mouse again. It makes going through these comments a lot easier. Red Raider Reloading moderator. Hello, Trucker Todd. Hey, Red Raider. You're off today, right? You don't work on Sundays, I don't think. And Becca says, "The company we left, MN 89, was Route 66 Transportation." Yeah, they're currently at Route 66 Transportation. When they told me about the company, I'd never heard of them. But it sounds like that company has taken pretty good care of them. And from what I understand, they're in the Missouri area, like Stratford, Missouri, somewhere around there. So if you live in that area, Route 66 might be a good company for some of you guys as well. Red Raider Reloading channel member. Not yet. I've had very, very little downtime. Yesterday I went and did laundry and stuff like that, but I'm going to watch it. I imagine I'll have time tomorrow afternoon sometime. I'm supposed to meet up at the terminal at noon to look at trucks, and hopefully I can get up there a couple hours early and look at it. Or after I look at trucks, I can look at it. I've been busy doing some of the stuff I need to do, like talking to other drivers and finding out about how things work here and what to expect and kind of the pros and cons. And just in generally, the words kind of got out that Trucker Todd's working here, and a lot of people want to talk to me, and it makes it hard to do. As a matter of fact, last night when I went to Walmart to get some groceries, somebody came by my hotel room wanting to talk, and I wasn't here. I do not know who it was. If you're watching this video, reach back out to me, or I'll be up at the terminal tomorrow. But the guy in the hotel room 2 doors down said, yeah, there was a guy looking for you. He described you, but his description didn't ring any bells. So try to find me at the yard tomorrow if you're still in town, and I'll talk to you. Or I'll be at the restaurant sometime tomorrow morning, and we can talk over there. PG Beats. It's a great company. Been here 4 months. Yeah. This week so far, PG Beats has been the only guy that I've been able to find doing positive comments. There was a lot of negative comments, negative Nancy's. And so it was scary to come here. I ain't going to lie. And we talked about it in class. And, you know, on stuff like that, when you get to hear both sides of the story, you go, oh, well, I see why they might feel that way, and I see why the company might feel this way. But all I can go on is what I've experienced. And so far, all I've experienced is I've watched a few of PG Beats videos, and the interactions I've had here at the terminal. Everybody's been honest with me. If there was a lie, it's things are better than what they told me, and that's a good lie to have. Nothing negative, no surprises that I wasn't aware of. And so I'm pretty optimistic. Now, does that mean I can still fail? Absolutely. 4 months from now, I could be out job hunting again, but I hope not. I think there was probably a time when this company wrestled with some things, and I think they've made a lot of changes and corrections. And so I'm going to keep an open mind, and all I can go on is how they've treated me so far, which has been better than I could have asked for, better than I could have expected. And so take that for what it's worth. You guys know I'm honest. I'll tell you the truth as we go. But yeah, so anyway. Shop Fees wants to know, what's the pay per mile? It's 70% plus fuel surcharge. It is contract reefer freight. So typically speaking, contract freight pays about 50 cents a mile or so better than spot market freight. Now, that does vary sometimes. It can fluctuate, but typically speaking, contract freight pays a little better. And then when freight that gets rejected off the contract market ends up on the spot market. So I was getting 82% with SRO Logistics, but it was it was spot market freight, and there was no fuel surcharge. It was whatever rate you worked out's what you got. Now, some of them would show a fuel surcharge on the rate con, but it wasn't real. And let me give you an example. So let's say this is when I was at SRO Logistics. Let's say that I bid $2,500 on a load. Some of the brokers would show the line haul at $2,000, and then they'd show a $500 fuel surcharge, let's say. So you'd still get your same $2,500. They just split it and said, well, we're giving you a fuel surcharge. But it was never real money. It wasn't $2,500 plus a fuel surcharge. It was just the rate. And, I knew that going in, so I adjusted my rate, and for the most part, did pretty good doing like that. I just truck nickeled and dimed me to death. Now here, it's different. Let's say that the rate is $2.30 a mile. All right, RE Garrison's going to get their 30% off of that. I'll have a number. I don't have my calculator out, but then there's going to be a fuel surcharge added on top of that. Also, they've got a much better discount than what I was getting at SRO. That's not a slam on SRO Logistics. That's just a fact. A 900 truck or almost 900 truck company is going to have access to bigger discounts than what a less than 10 truck operation is going to get. So I'm not slamming on SRO. It was still the best job I've ever had to this point. I'm just stating the fact. They use ComData here, And I've already got the app. I'm having some trouble with the app. It's not the company, though. It's not RE Garrison. It's ComData, and they said it was something internal and that it could take up to 7 business days to fix. I figure it'll get fixed by Monday or Tuesday. And it's not a big deal. I can still access most of the app. It's just I can't see my fuel card balances on there. So hopefully they'll get that fixed by the time my truck is ready. Yep, PG Beats added to that with a great comment. He's telling shop fees, it varies, no set per mile, sometimes $5, sometimes $1.50. Yeah, it just really depends, you know, and that's why it's tough to answer people's questions. And I've liked all the drivers I've talked to so far because they've been honest. They're like, it depends where you're at, what you're hauling, where you're going, and all of those things are true. And so it's impossible to tell you what you're going to make here or what you're not going to make here. But in general, in OTR trucking, you're going to have good weeks and bad weeks. And I've been very impressed with how supportive the company's been so far. And it's not just because I'm in orientation, and it's not just because I'm Trucker Todd. Like I said, I've been just walking up to random drivers and saying, hey, I'm new here. What do you think? And seeing what they say. And I have yet to run across one that was negative. I know they're out there because I see them on YouTube, but I haven't found any at the terminal yet. And I mean, here's another example. Let me tell you all this story, and then we'll get back into your comments. On Friday at 5:30 p.m., because I just got done doing the stuff I had to do inside, I was trying to activate the ComData app. I texted my recruiter, said, hey, who can I get with to help me with this? And she said, safety would be the best, but they've gone home today. She said, if you'll go back there and talk to operations, I bet they can help you. And now this is 5:30 on a Friday. And they said, yeah, come on back. We're real welcoming. They do have the door that's locked where you can't get back there unless somebody lets you back there. I don't really like that, but with all the craziness in the world right now, I understand it. And I don't know the lady's name. I wish I did. She sat there and we worked on it, and she said, all right, you got to wait. I forget how long she said, 2 days or something, and then contact ComData, and then they'll be able to help you. And she's like, if that doesn't work, come back and I'll help you some more. So how many companies have you worked at that at 5:30 p.m. on a Friday, they were willing to sit there and help you? A lot of them can't wait to get out of the door to go do what they do. Now, I don't know, she may work night shift. I'll tell you another thing I like. They have a breakdown department that's there pretty late in the evening. I don't know if they're 24 hours or not, but I'm talking like at 6:30, they were still in there taking calls. And so that was good to see as well. I believe they have somebody on call 24 hours a day is what I remember from orientation. PG Beats, if I'm wrong, correct me, please. I don't want to disperse any bad information, and that's why I say if I say anything on here that sounds too good to be true, or like I don't know what I'm talking about, because really I'm still new, I don't know what I'm talking about, call the recruiter and ask her the questions that are bugging you. It's not going to hurt my feelings. Say, hey, I heard Trucker Todd said this. I want to see if that's true. Or Trucker Todd didn't know about this. I want to find out about it. Or ask PG Beats here in the comments, and he'll answer your questions. All of you, go subscribe to his channel, and especially if you're interested in RE Garrison, and kind of watch both of us. Like I said, I've really enjoyed his videos. I've really learned a lot off of them. And heck, you don't know, you might learn something off of it even if you never have plans to come to RE Garrison. Becca says, yeah, we delivered on Friday and was supposed to pick up a load that same day, but he ran out of hours because of a train, and it was a set pickup as well. Yeah, that stinks. That stinks. Yeah, it seems like when you're always down to the wire that there's a major accident that slows things up, or a train or something. But well, look at the bright side. At least you'll get a 34 this weekend, and Monday you'll be able to hit the ground running. And it gives you a chance to do laundry and things like that. That's what I did yesterday. I went up to the terminal. They had free laundry facilities, and so I did my laundry. And then last night I went to Walmart and bought some groceries so I could they got an okay restaurant here, but it's a little bit of a drive, probably about 5 miles from the hotel. So it saves me from having to leave the room. I can just stay in the room and do videos and work and things I need to do around here and not have to go out. Red Raider Reloading moderator. Thanks to all my fellow truck drivers out there. I appreciate y'all's hard work. This week is Driver Appreciation Week. I did not know that, but I should have known that because I got an email that a couple of RE Garrison's customers are doing a customer appreciation thing at various locations. And I didn't pay that close of attention to it. I'm usually never at the places that are doing that kind of stuff. And so don't know if RE Garrison has anything planned at their terminals this week, or even if I'll be in town when they do it. But yes, thank you to each and every driver out here. Those of you that like me, those of you that hate me, those of you that think I'm a genius, those of you that think I'm an idiot, that's okay too. I appreciate every one of you. Becca says, yeah, it's in Stratford area near Springfield, and they have done very good. Everyone treats you like family here, and they take. Lou says, how far west do they go? They do all 48 states. They'll go to California, Oregon, Washington. Matter of fact, they ask you in class where you want to run, where you don't want to run, where you prefer to run. And I let them know I like running out west. I don't have a problem with it as long as I can get a good rate. I'm all about the rate. I told them I prefer to stay out of the Northeast, but that doesn't mean don't send me something. I will go to the Northeast under the right circumstances. And so, yeah, that's what I would say about that. And I don't know their hiring area. I would assume it's all 48 states, but you'd want to call my recruiter and talk to her about that. If you live in a weird area or you've got something on your license or record that's a concern, I don't want to speak on behalf of the company. I'd rather them tell you what they can and cannot do. Black Carbon, why did you leave Swift? I left Swift, it's been 2.5 years ago, I think, something like that. And basically, I saved up enough money to pay cash for a truck. I bought it from one of my viewers. He's in here sometimes. He was in here a couple of videos ago. And I wanted to run the spot market. Probably one of the biggest mistakes I've made in trucking. I had it made at Swift. I should have bought that truck and stayed at Swift. But I paid cash for a truck. I went to F2F, and then approximately 3 weeks later, I had the accident that totaled the truck. So in hindsight, I wish I'd have stayed at Swift because I was making bank there. And but you live, you learn. That's why a lot of people watch me. I've never been perfect. I've never claimed to be perfect. I make good decisions, bad decisions, and I share all of it with you here. Now, some of you do the right thing and learn from the donkey, and some of you just relentlessly judge me and attack me, and that's okay. I'm big boy. I can take both. But yeah, I was on the top of the world at that point, and I paid cash for a truck, went to Illinois to get it, and I parked it at my shop for about 2 months while I was working at Swift, and worked on it a little by little when I went home. Spent about probably $8,000 or $10,000 reconditioning it and getting it ready. And I was heartbroken when it got totaled out. Becca, we had a moment that happened in Macon, Georgia. Someone called our boss and told him hubby was in jail because he got in a fight and the steer tires were slashed. Said it would be $3,000 to bail him out. Wow. So like a scammer. Yeah, there's a time in trucking where that would probably have worked. But nowadays, I mean, they've got stuff on the trailer that tracks the trailer. Your ELD tracks you. Heck, your phones track you. If you've got any broker apps or anything like that on your phone, those track you. If you've got the TransFlow app, it tracks you. So they've got multiple ways to know where you're at and what you're doing. And it's a shame people will do stuff like that. That's why if you call in, I've had it happen to me. Somebody will call in, they'll get my truck number and say, well, Trucker Todd was doing this. And they'll say, really, where at? And they'll give a location, and I'm nowhere near there. I'm 2 or 3 states away. And so shame on people that would do that, that would snitch. That's not moving the ball forward or helping trucking at all. That's just being mean and spiteful. And trust me, this week I've learned all about mean and spiteful. There's been some horrible things said and done to me. Blues Trucker, do they show you the rate con? That is a great question. I'll be honest with you. I did not ask. If PB is still in here, he could answer that question. They seem pretty integrity based. I bet they would if you asked. But I have not asked that question. I'll find out tomorrow though, because that's a great question that I normally would ask. And I just hadn't got around to it. Oh boy, I've missed a lot of stuff. Give me just a second here. Blue Carbon has sent 3 $1.99 super chats. Thank you for that very much, my friend. I definitely appreciate it. I was not expecting that. I'm a little shocked. So, I'm not as articulate as I might have been, but thank you for that very much. I wasn't expecting it. Oh, here's a good comment. Alaska Haul, I've done a bunch of Garrison loads with my reefer. They always paid decent and never had a problem with with the brokers there. Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, I always like to hear that. I don't want to hear, oh, they didn't pay me and, they lied. And it's good that they're showing integrity on the broker side as well as on our side. All right, let's see where we're at here. Becca, our boss and his daughter and daughter-in-law had blew up hubby's phone to figure out what happened, and they were going to send a driver to Macon to check on us. That might be a little bit of an overreaction, depend on how much time elapsed, but definitely I can see why they'd want to get to the bottom of it and find out what happened. I remember him telling me the story, but I don't remember the details. That's been a little while back. Was he actually in a fight, or did he actually have any slashed tires? And I don't remember the disposition of it. Was it possible that it was a case of mistaken identity, that they thought it was your truck and it was another truck within the company or something like that? Mac T, hello, Todd. I know you're happy today after watching Game of the Year. How's RE treating you? So the game, I was mad 3/4 of the game because the only reason the Cowboys didn't get smoked is the Giants kept getting penalties. But I liked what I saw. The defense finally started stepping up. The offense looked amazing. CeeDee Lamb started catching balls. That other guy they got, I can't think of his name right now, number 3, he had a good game. And, of course, the kicker is always awesome. So, yeah, I was pretty happy with how it all turned out. But it was a nail-biter. Red Raider Reloading Moderator says, what's up, Mac T? PG Beats says, you're correct. Breakdown is always there for you, and I appreciate the support. Thank you. Yes, sir. PG, they asked a great question. If you don't know, I'll find out tomorrow. If you wanted to see the rate cons, if you felt like they were not being upright with you, would they show that to you? I haven't made a big deal about it because I haven't had a driver tell me yet, hey, I think they cheated me on this load, or I think they cheated me on that load. Matter of fact, I've had a couple of drivers tell me they were stacking loads on them. They were getting 2 or 3 loads at a time. And for the most part, they were decent paying. They'd say every once in a while they'd get one that wasn't great, but that's trucking. Every once in a while on the spot market, you'll get one that ain't great paying. Becca, hubby wanted to know where you are at for orientation. I am in Coleman, Alabama. Coleman, Alabama. The other day, I thought I was going to get to see one of my friends. He was picking up a load like 5 miles away from me, but it didn't work out to where we got to see each other. We was going to go grab a hamburger or something, but yeah, that's where I'm at, Coleman, Alabama. If anybody else is passing through in the next day or two, shoot me an email, todd@truckertodd.net. Or you guys got my phone number. If y'all are passing through, call me. Newman Attack, channel member. I need a new plan. I'm open to suggestions. Okay, before anybody can give Newman Attack a suggestion, you need to know a little bit about him. He's an owner-operator with his own truck, and he's currently running the spot market. So the reason I'm telling you that, he's not interested in a company job, and he's probably not interested in a lease purchase. My suggestions are going to be either SRO Logistics, if you want to run the spot market. If you want to be dispatched again, then I would recommend RE Garrison. And all I can tell you is SRO Logistics, Scott's a good guy. He's an honest guy. He's been good to me. And I don't have a lot of experience at RE Garrison yet, but so far they've been great too. I'm sure some people in the comments will have some other suggestions, but that's the 2 places I would go right now. Swift is good, but with where you've got your truck financed, I don't think you could make what you need to make. Dart Transit is also good, but with what you got, I think you'd be pretty tight there as well. I think you're probably going to have to run some form of percentage to make it. I need to use my mouse. I don't know why I was using the one on the laptop. Mac T says, what's up, Raider? Just chilling during these crazy times. This has definitely been a crazy week. And I don't know what I want. If I want a bunch of Charlie Kirk coverage, or if it's just too sad to watch. I saw a deal where Charlie Kirk's wife was giving a speech. Now, this is a grieving wife. I don't care if you love Charlie Kirk or hate him. People were shouting at her while she's talking about her dead husband. And I would say this about the other side. If you're shouting down a grieving widow of a Democrat, that's just as bad. Man, what happened to decency? And I've had some bad stuff said about me this week that I'm trying to milk it for clicks or nothing or something like that. And that's not the case. I promise you. It's that, man, that deeply affected me. There's been a few big deaths over the course of my life that really stuck with me. When my favorite comedian died, I thought that was pretty sad. When Charlie Kirk died, I thought that was pretty sad. And, the older we get, I'm 52 years old now, the older we get, the more funerals we start attending. And it's sad to watch people. Now I'm talking about family, people that you've loved and respected your whole life, watch them start to deteriorate right in front of you. And you guys know my mom died a few years ago. And when she was alive, every year around Mother's Day, she used to get real sad about her mother dying. And I was like, man, Mom, it's been 25 years, 30 years, whatever it was. I can't believe you're this sad. And she's like, you'll understand one day. And now I get it. Now I think about it daily. And it's tough to watch people go like that. And you always think you'll have one more day. I remember my favorite grandpa. The last time I saw him, I said, I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. He said, all right, have a good night. And that next morning, as I was getting ready for school, he died. He lived about 2 blocks from us, and my dad went over to his house and performed CPR on him till the ambulances got there and couldn't save him. So that was real tough on my dad to deal with, and it was tough on me. I wanted to go with my dad. There's nothing I could have done, but I'm like, I want to try. Maybe I could have done something. And so we never know how much time we've got, and just some of these things that have happened recently are tough to think about and tough to deal with. Red Raider Reloading, moderator, Mac T, I totally understand. That's what I'm doing today. Mac T, I like driving out west as well, southwest, LOL. I like it all because, now I'll be the first to say California is not my favorite place, but the western states, Montana, Idaho, Arizona, Nevada, even Washington State, I like going out there. It seems like for the most part, now I'm going to exclude Washington State from this, it's easier to find parking. It's wide open. It's good scenery. I enjoy running that part of the country. I don't mind the Southeast either. I just don't care for the Northeast. I don't mind the outskirts of Chicago, but I don't want to go downtown where all the low bridges are. Michigan, I've got mixed opinions about. Seems like every time I go there, DOT wants to mess with me. But Minnesota and Wisconsin, I like both of those states. Nebraska, all of that through there. I actually enjoy running those parts of the country. Red Raider Reloading, moderator. Becca, he's at RE Garrison. Yeah, she knew I was at RE Garrison. She was wondering what city I was in. I don't think I've ever told you about them. They're real good people. I've talked to her and her husband before. Well, I think I've just texted with her. I've talked to her husband before. They're good people. They don't always get to catch the lives, but they're pretty good people. And Becca, this is Red Raider Reloading. He's a super good friend of mine. He lives in Lubbock like I do. And we used to kind of work together. We were at different companies, but we saw each other several times a week. And so I'm glad that Becca and her husband could make it in here today, and I could introduce everybody to them. And Becca said she meant the state and city. Yeah, I'm in Coleman, Alabama. Red Raider Reloading, moderator. LOL, sorry. No, you're good. She's you're just trying to help. Becca, LOL, it's all good. Yeah, no hard feelings. Pistol Packing Patriot, I still like that name. He emailed me and told me who he was before, and I guess YouTube made him change his name. So much for free speech, but I'm glad he's back in here under a different name. Even haters or fans, a comment is a comment and a view is a view. It helps the algorithm. Love your haters. They are actually helping you out. Exactly. And I had a really big YouTuber with like 40,000 subscribers tell me one time. He said, I love my trolls and my haters. I said, why? He said, because I know they're going to watch every one of my videos till the end, and they're going to comment. And he was right. they may call you names or make fun of you or do parody videos of you, and that's fine. It still helps the channel. And isn't it ironic that while they're trying to put you down, they're actually helping you? I had an interesting thing happen this week, and I wasn't going to talk about it, but I will. I went to the restaurant here, and one of the guys in my class came in right after me. He sat down at my table, and I guess he had watched a couple of my videos, and he was asking me some questions. We were talking, and I could tell by talking to him that we were on different ends of the political spectrum, but we left there being friends. I mean, some of you that think you hate me, you might like me if we ever sit down and had a hamburger together, like that guy did. He thought he had me figured out, and I thought I had him figured out. But after we sat there and talked 15 or 20 minutes, we both left there with a different opinion of each other. Now, I didn't change his mind. He still feels the way he feels. And he didn't change my mind. I still feel the way I feel, but we left there with a mutual respect for each other because we could have a lighthearted debate without name calling and wanting to get up and go outside and fight. It was just a civil conversation. It was educated. We weren't name calling. He was telling me why he felt the way he felt, and I was telling him why I felt the way I felt. And some of it just comes down to simple geography. I grew up in a very small town, and we didn't have a lot of the stuff that's facing the world right now. And he grew up in a different town in Louisiana, and he was exposed to an entirely different situation than what I was growing up. So we both looked at the world. We both had a worldview that was different from each other, but we found out we could still be civil to each other and still talk to each other. And that's what the world needs right now. Right now, we're feeling like we got to hurt people if they don't agree with us, or we got to try to silence them, get them kicked off of YouTube. And we don't have to do that. I'm going to say something very controversial. Everybody here, get ready. Every content creator is Charlie Kirk. And what I mean by that is if you get any, I don't know what the word is, gravitas or any traction with your channel at all, you're going to get threats. And that could have very easily been me at a truck show, what happened to Charlie Kirk. It could be me at a truck stop sometime. Everybody sees what I look like, but I don't see what everybody else looks like. And so we've got to find a way to, if you don't like what I'm saying, just stop watching or agree to disagree with me or debate me in here. But let's do it civilly, and let's not get so mad that I feel like I need to hurt you or you feel like you need to hurt me. That's the takeaway this week. Becca, no, he was sleeping in the sleeper and I had to wake him up. Yeah, I couldn't remember if he mentioned it to you. He was not in a fight and our steers weren't slashed. They did scam our boss. Well, then shame on your boss. He shouldn't have sent money to anybody but you, and you could have went to the police station or whatever and bonded him out. So yeah, that's your boss probably jumped the gun a little bit there. Hopefully he doesn't make y'all pay that back. PG Beats says, honestly, I'm not sure they will, but they are pretty fair and consistent. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes, here's the deal about contract freight, is they sign usually a year-long contract, sometimes longer, and it's more difficult to show that stuff than it is if you're running the spot market, one rate con per load type deal. So I don't know if any company pulling contract freight could readily show you that. I'm sure if you made a big scene and wanted to see one, it could probably happen. But if you're wanting to see every one, I think it would be hard just because of the nature of the business they're in. I mean, they've got a customer that I can think of right now, PG Beats knows who it is. I'm not going to say it on here. That they've been working with for like 40 or 50 years, is my understanding. So, yeah, I don't know about that. I'll get more in-depth answer on that and put it in a video or something here pretty quick. I'll see the powers that be tomorrow, and I'll talk to them about it. Because of what they do, it's an entirely different deal than what I was doing before, in that before I'm dealing with little brokers, big brokers, things like that. It's a load-by-load, case-by-case basis. And this is contract freight that they're locked in with this customer for a year or sometimes longer, sometimes decades, like the one customer I'm thinking of. And so it might be a pretty big ordeal to see even one rate con. I think it'd be very, very difficult to see ever one. I did 215 loads at SRO Logistics, and I think it would be a time-consuming and mountainous activity to contact RE Garrison 215 times and say, hey, can I have a rate con? And they have to contact this department and that department. But I understand why you asked the question. I just don't know if it's practical or feasible. And, you know, if I don't like the rate they send to me, all I got to do is turn it down. There was a lot of companies that were skimming off the top for a while. And I think when some of the lawsuits come out, everybody tightened it up. So it's hard for me to believe, as honest and full of integrity as RE Garrison has been so far, that they'd try to cheat me out of $40 on a rate con or something. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't met a driver yet here at this company. And trust me, there's a lot of people that know Trucker Todd's here now. I haven't met anybody at the company yet that said, you know, Todd, I think they're skimming off the top. You know, they cheated me on my pay. I haven't had one single person say that. I did have one guy tell me he had found a couple of mistakes on his pay and they fixed it. And they told us, the payroll lady told us, payroll comes out Thursday. If you tell us pretty quick, we can usually get it fixed that same week. Matter of fact, they devote Fridays to fixing payroll mistakes. So if you have one, it's a high priority to them to get it fixed. And, you know, with almost 900 trucks, you're going to have mistakes. Somebody's going to fat finger something, or, you know, forget to put something on there. Your dispatcher is going to forget to put something on there. I came here looking for success. I didn't come here looking to catch them in a lie or catch them trying to screw me. If they do, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But so far, everything's been what they said or better. And I trust them at this point. I've tested them, and some of you are going to want to know what test. I'm not going to tell you on here, but you've got your test. Things you say to a company, things you ask of a company to see if they're being truthful, if they are what they say they are. And I'm telling you the truth. Everything has been, I really trust them now. And that doesn't mean that I can't be wrong, and that doesn't mean it can't go south in a hurry. But it means that we're far enough along now that I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm willing to trust them. Ted says they will not do lease purchase out of Illinois because of the law. Some companies will. I don't know about RE Garrison. Maybe PG Beats knows. That's why I put the recruiter's information up there, and I can text it to you if you need it, Ted. It's worth having a conversation with her. A lot of people won't hire me because I live in Lubbock, Texas, and they were actually excited about it. And a lot of people won't hire me because that accident's 2.5 years old, and they want it to be 5 years old. They seem like they would, I don't want to call them a second chance company, but they seem like they are willing to have a discussion, that they're more open-minded. And so if that's a concern you've got, I would definitely reach out to them. I don't even know what they pay company drivers, but even if they say, you know, Ted, we can't do a lease purchase with Illinois, maybe they could get you on as a company driver, and you could save up some money and buy your own truck and that go that way. I've got a lot of dealerships that'll work with you. But yeah, holler at me, Ted, and we'll find out together, or contact that recruiter and ask her. All right, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and read this one since I get accused of blocking comments. Man, the trucking industry thrives off idiots like you. And my channel thrives off of idiots like you. Thank you for watching. Remember, 412, we're going to keep it respectful in here, or I'm going to bounce you. Race and Ray, hey y'all, just checking in. Been watching Chiefs try to lose another one. Congrats to all your Cowboy fans. Thank you very much. Yeah, the Chiefs are not doing well. Looks like it's 20-10 with 3 minutes and 50 seconds left in the fourth. Chiefs fans are going to go nuts if they're 0-2. And Becca's saying hi to Race and Ray. Uh, 412 again. How many years you been doing this and haven't been successful at anything? Shaking my head. The industry laughs at you nonstop. We share your videos around just to laugh. Well, I'm glad you enjoy the videos. I've been driving for 28 years. How long have you been driving? 412? And let me go back to 412 a minute. Also, why don't you create a channel? Since you're a genius and you've got it all figured out, why don't you create a channel and let us watch you? You know, I want to talk about this for a second too. You say that you're sharing my videos out and laughing around. First of all, I appreciate you watching. Second of all, if you want to laugh, that's fine. That doesn't affect me. But put your videos up and let's see if we laugh at you. See, it's easy to pick on me because I'm open. I'll share my successes and my failures. But cowards like you won't. You'll sit there and hide behind fake pictures, behind fake accounts. Like I said, you see me at a truck stop, you know what I look like. What do you look like? Why don't you create a YouTube channel? I'll subscribe and watch you. And I'll judge you at the same level you judge me, and we'll see how it goes for you. Newman Attack, channel member. I did serious driving in the Pacific Northwest, including winters, and I wish I were there now. Plus, my kids are there. Yeah, my wife and her family are from Indiana, and when she rode on the truck with me, we used trucking as a way to get by for her to see her family a lot. And sometimes I'd drop her off and she'd stay a couple of weeks, and I'd swing back around and pick her up. But you think about the opportunities we have as truck drivers and compare it with your high school classmates. How many of them get to see all 48 states and travel like we do? It really is fun. It's kind of an adventure. And I didn't really realize how much I enjoyed it until I wasn't doing it no more after that stroke. And I'm glad to be back for sure. Newman Attack, channel member. Someone tell Fly Rabbit I reported him to the IRS for tax evasion. I'm going to enjoy that reward money. Wow. Yeah, I'm not going to get in that. I don't know anything about his current tax state. I would think my current tax state's pretty good. These last 2 years, I've lost my tail trucking. Becca, the person that called, they impersonated a cop. That was how they did the scam. Well, the company should have caller ID, and they are to be able to tell the cops what number called, and they can figure out who had that phone and get them in trouble for impersonating a cop. And if he wire transferred the money to them, I believe, especially if they're in a different state, that's a federal offense. So Your employer should have prosecuted whoever initiated the scam. I was scammed this week, but only for $28, and I got it back pretty quick, actually $28.80. But at one point, I was scammed for like $4,500. And I caught it as soon as it went through because I checked my account several times a day. And I was able to get the money back like within a few hours of the next day. It didn't take very long. But you do feel powerless, and it's pretty scary when they hit your account and you don't know who it is or why they did it. Skyline Trucker, he's a good dude too. If you guys are interested in Crete, go check out Skyline's channel. He puts out good, honest information about Crete Carrier. So check him out as well. Pistol Packing Patriot, the idiot just helped you out. That's the irony of it. Too stupid to realize he's not smart. Keep on keeping on. Yeah, if for those of you that want to hurt me, the easiest way to hurt me is not watch my videos. Don't subscribe. Don't give me a thumbs up. And what they don't know is even a thumbs down helps the channel. It's considered an interaction. But if they're really doing what he said, if they're really sharing my video out, then that check I get from YouTube every month, he's a percentage of that. And I want to thank him for that. But, he thinks he's the first person that's ever come on here and called me a failure. He thinks he's the first person that's ever come on here and called me a name or said I'm an idiot. Doesn't bother me. I've heard it 1,000 times. When you get to be my age, when you get to be 52, you know exactly what you are and what you are not. And I'm comfortable in my skin. But if I don't like what the Disney Channel's doing, I don't watch Disney. You vote with your dollars and with your time. And marketing is all about getting as much of your time as possible. So if there's something you like, if you don't like YouTube, don't watch YouTube. If you don't like Netflix, don't watch Netflix. If you don't like Nintendo, don't buy Nintendo games. But they come on here and watch, and then they share my video out. Do they think I get paid less if they laugh at me? No, it doesn't matter. YouTube doesn't care. They just want eyes on the channel. So I think it's funny. I really do. None of the insults he gave me today are something new I've never heard before. I know I talk slow. I've lost almost 100 pounds. I got a little skin under here. They like to laugh about it. They're focused on that. I'm focused on, hey, I've lost 90-something pounds. I'm healthier. I feel better. Now I'm getting older today. My shoulder hurt and stuff, but that's just old age. And Becca says, very true, Pistol. Yeah. Robbie Ross, channel member, moderator. Hello, friends from a bar in Oklahoma City. Cowboys Nation, rise up. Yeah, I spent the first 5 minutes of the video talking about the Cowboys. I'm glad we won, but the Giants helped them out a lot. I've never seen so many penalties. And Russell Wilson looked great. He had almost 500 yards passing. He looked like he was back in his Seattle days. Everybody was kind of down on him and on the fence about him. I think he may be there. I think he may be a Giant for a while. And the Giants are a lot better team than what everybody's giving them credit for. They are not an 0-2 team. I mean, technically they are, but they're not playing like one. I think they're going to have a good season. So this is an inside joke. Nobody's going to get it but me and Newman. Newman Attack, channel member. Doesn't he know you're a huge YouTuber? That's right. That's right. It's funny because the guy that he's making fun of used to say that I was an egomaniac, that I had let this whole thing go to my head. And my response to him was, well, you have to be a little bit of an egomaniac to sit in front of a laptop or a cell phone and talk to yourself. So I'm not denying that I have a little bit of an ego, but I mean, I think it's funny that when people say stuff like that, it's just a regular guy sharing his opinions on here. Do you know what the difference is between me and y'all? I turn my camera on a few days a week, and I show you parts of my life that most people won't. Do you realize that all the stuff he criticized about me, he wouldn't have known if I hadn't have shared it? So I knew when I shared that information that there's a potential somebody'd make fun of me, somebody'd call me names. But what I'm hoping is, and I've said this, I believe I said it in my last video, had a sales manager back when I was in sales. He used to say, learn from the donkey. And what it meant was, if you see somebody making a mistake, learn from it. Don't repeat their mistakes. And that's why I give such great advice now. It's not that I'm some genius that knows everything. It's that I've been doing this 28 years, and I've made just about every mistake you can make. And so because of that, I can tell you what not to do. And hopefully if I can tell you what not to do, you can figure out what to do. And but yeah, these people that want to take me down so bad, they're actually helping the channel, and I think it's hilarious. And if they keep it up, one day I will be a huge YouTuber. Pistol packing patriot. We've all failed in life, including him. It's how we learned the path we are all to go down. You know what's funny, though? The people that are judging me, the reason they don't have a YouTube channel is they've failed in the exact same ways, kind of like you were saying. They've had lease purchases that's gone bad. They've had one of my biggest critics did several lease purchases and owes those companies thousands of dollars. And he's paying some of them back slowly, and some of them he's not paying back at all. So I would bet probably 70% of the people that are on YouTube that are watching these videos have failed at a lease purchase somewhere. Now, does that mean every lease purchase is bad? No. Does that mean every lease purchase is good? No. Some are good, some are bad. Most are bad. Let's be honest. But, I had a guy here in class. He was telling me, we were out on the porch talking the other night, and he said, man, I just see all these trucks come in, and it makes me think that something must be wrong if all these trucks are getting turned in. I was like, no, they've got 900 trucks. You're going to have a certain number of people quit every week, even if you're the best company in trucking. He said, why is that? Health problems. You can't pass your DOT physical anymore. Personal problems. Another guy that was with us in that group while we were talking said, yeah, a while back I was doing a lease purchase and I was making money, and my wife said, come off the road or she was going to leave me. So I had to choose between my truck and my wife. I knew people that they got custody of their kids and they had to come off the road and take care of their kids. There are circumstances where there's no bad guys. It just, life happens. And you have a stroke like I did, or I had 15 of them in one day, but you get the point. And so just because a lease purchase doesn't work out for somebody doesn't mean they don't know what they're doing or that they failed. It means that at that point in time, it didn't work. I'd be happy to go through, there's a lot of stuff people want to question about me, and it doesn't do any good to litigate it on YouTube because, people make stuff up, people lie. But if somebody wants to sit down with me and litigate this stuff, I've got the proof for everything. And I'll be happy to go through it with you. But this stuff never dies if we sit here and every video it's, well, this person said this, what do you say? And I say, well, this person said, I say this. And we go back and forth, back and forth. I'm interested in positive things. I'm interested in a positive channel and positive outcomes. I'm not interested in drama and keeping things going for months and years at a time. If somebody's got a beef with me, let's meet up and let's have a discussion and figure it out. Let's not litigate it here on YouTube where it's never going to get settled. And then let's move on from it. Kind of like the guy I said I had lunch with the other day. He had a totally different opinion of me from what he had watching my videos than what he did in person. But he was an educated guy. We had a good discussion. He could bring up good points, and I saw why he felt the way he felt. He didn't change my mind, but I saw why he felt the way he felt. And I didn't change his mind, but he saw why I felt like I did. And we got there pretty quick, and then we had a good lunch together. And that's all I'm saying. That guy that's coming in here talking all that smack, he's going to hide behind his fake channel and do his, drama-laden stuff. But if he, I put out in a video a couple videos ago, I was getting criticized. I gave my email. I said, I can prove what I'm saying. Email me and I'll send you proof. I didn't get one single email. I had a couple people that text me, close friends, and when I told them what happened and showed them the proof I got, they're like, wow, that's not what's going around on YouTube. And I'm like, no kidding. Because nobody's interested in the truth. They're interested in drama. And I'm not going to do drama. We're going to get to the bottom of it and move on. There's some things that's happened really recently that are bad. There's no way I can spin them and make them good. But I'm not going to sit here and feel sorry for myself for the next 6 months and down myself. I found a good company, and I'm going to go take another swing at it. And I'm so happy to have a mouse again. Good grief, it was bad without a mouse. Ted Van Buskirk says he talked to them and they told him no. All right, man, I hate to hear that. I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow too, because I want to get some clarification on what states are off limits so that I'm not sending them people that can't go. But you were one of the first people I thought of. I think this place would be a really good fit for you. Robbie Ross, channel member moderator, our secondary showed its true colors today. The one thing I like was that they showed heart. When things were looking pretty gloom and doom, they stuck in there and they kept swinging. They didn't give up. And, when there was 30-something seconds left and the Giants scored, I thought, man, this game's over. And they went down the field like really, really quick and kicked that game-winning field goal. And if they'd have had to punch it in, I believe they could have, but they took the easy way and kicked the field goal. So, yeah, it was nice to see them not give up, to keep fighting, to play, all 60 minutes, actually closer to 70 minutes with overtime. But, I saw a lot of things that gave me encouragement. For both teams, I thought the Giants looked good, but they just got to get those penalties under control. Ted Van Buskirk. First of all, Bum A, he is a very smart guy. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. And speaking of Bum A, here he is again. 412, 6 years, 2.5 companies, put 20 down on a truck, paid off my truck and trailer. I got the titles posted on my account. Very successful, but I also don't just drive a truck to call myself. Okay, so what does that tell me? You've achieved all this success over the last 6 years, and the best use of your time at this point in your life is to come on another YouTuber's channel and put them down. That says a lot more about you than it does me, but let's run with that for a second. I know a lot of super, super successful people, several millionaires. And do you know what none of them have in common with you? None of them go on other YouTube channels and put people down. Most of them try to find ways to help people that aren't as successful as them or as fortunate as them. If you've got so much knowledge and success, why don't you share your knowledge with others and help others? It's real easy to come on here and claim all these accolades. And maybe you've done most of those things. But am I really the best use of your time? If you've got all this stuff that you're managing and running, shouldn't you be taking care of that instead of on here trying to put me down? Does it make you feel better? Does it make you feel tougher? Make you feel superior? I can tell you right now, you're a low-life scumbag, and you better hope I never meet you in person, because we're going to have a discussion, all right, but you're not going to like it. And let me tell you this, too, while I'm at it. These are not threats, so everybody chill out. I'm a lot smarter than I look, so just be aware of that. Ted Van Buskirk, he is not smart enough to make his own channel. Oh, no, he's been doing this 6 years, and he's got $20,000 to put down on a truck, and he's already paid that truck off. Yeah, I'd like to see that truck and trailer. He's got the titles. He can't spell titles. He put tittles, but he's got the tittles. He's smart and educated, but he can't even spell titles. He can't spell successful either. He put 2 L's on it. So he doesn't know grammar or general spelling, but he can't spell truck either. He spells truck, Trucc. So what we're dealing with here, guys, is a really smart man, a really illiterate man that feels like he needs to come on another guy's channel and put him down and make up facts to make himself feel better. And it wasn't a typo. Before we start defending him and saying, oh, it was a typo, in every one of his messages where he's put truck, he's misspelled it. You would think a truck driver would know how to spell truck or trucker, but he doesn't. He's just a low-life scumbag. So I normally don't do this, but he has reached the threshold of being disrespectful. Everybody, please take a moment to say goodbye to this clown. We're fixing to take care of him. All right, he can still read the messages, but he won't be allowed to participate anymore. 412, you have a nice night. Robbie Ross, channel member moderator with the $20 super chat. Thanks for using my Cowboy Stadium pick. See if I can update it for 2025 in a couple of weeks. Yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you for that. Becca, what's a truck? 412. Is that a new food group? Is it edible? Exactly. It's if you're going to come into a channel and call somebody dumb, at least spell your words correctly. At least make complete sentences. Heck, these computers and phones now even have spell check, but you have to be smart enough to know how to use spell check. Who knows? Maybe I'll run into that clown one day. I'd really like to have a discussion with him. I bet that same clown, if he sees me in a truck stop, will be trying to buy me a coffee, either before we start talking or after we get done talking. Roger Berry, damn, that's harsh, isn't it? Nobody here walks on water, including yourself, 412. Yeah, it reminds me of the CB Rambo days. People would get on their CB and they'd say stuff on there that they'd never say to your face. Well, now they've become keyboard warriors. And none of them say, I work at the HEB as a grocery sacker. They've all got a truck. They've all got a trailer. They've all got their own numbers. They've all already paid it off. They're all making $1 million a week. And they figured it out their first day. And I'm just some idiot out here. But at best, they're selfish, because if they've got that much knowledge and experience, why ain't they on YouTube with their own channel sharing it? And if he has attained that level of success, instead of criticizing a YouTube channel that he feels like is unsuccessful, why isn't he, invest in or expanding his company? Now, I have no doubt there's probably a truck and trailer on his page. I don't know that it's his. He may even have a picture of a title. I don't know it's his. That stuff can be easily doctored these days. So yeah. And he's going to, even though we kicked him out, some of his ignorance is still going to shine through. I'm going to go ahead and read his next comment. 412, bro, you get like $9 a month from YouTube. Stop it. You're not a factor on YouTube. You can't teach anybody anything except about a company's orientation process. Okay, let's look at that. First of all, YouTube does not mail out or direct deposit. They will do mail if you want mail. They don't mail out money unless you make $100 a month. I've only had 1 month ever in the time that I've been monetized that I didn't make $100 a month. And that was back during the stroke times when I wasn't even doing videos. I had 1 month where I made 90 something dollars. Most months it's several $100s. But again, why do you care? Why do you care what money I make? Also, I'm not a factor on YouTube. I've never claimed to be a factor on YouTube. And I can't teach anybody anything except company orientation. This is the first orientation, full orientation I've been to in over 2 years. When I came back to Scott after the stroke, I did about an hour or two of orientation because I already knew everything. So you could technically count that, but not really. I did do one at AT&T because I worked there while I was recovering from the stroke. But you're making it sound like I bounce from orientation to orientation. As for if I've taught anybody anything or anybody's learned anything from me, I'll let the comments speak for themselves. Several people have commented, not in this video yet, but in past videos, that thank you for your advice, thank you for your knowledge. As recently as today, I've given advice to people, and I'm not going to call them out on here, say who they are or what their stuff was. They have a right to privacy. But again, why do you care? If you're so successful, if you got all the answers, why do you care if I make $9 a month off of YouTube? Can you answer that? And by the way, looking at your picture, if that really is you, you don't look like a successful guy that's paid off several trucks. You don't even look like a truck driver. You look like a lumper. Skyline, I was going to buy my truck in cash, but Todd gave me some advice not to do it that way so I can have money for breakdowns. And man, he was right. Thank you again, Todd. So I appreciate that, Skyline. Hey, 412, there's somebody that took my advice, and they're saying their life turned out better because of it. So there you go. I guess in my 4.5 years, I've got one person I helped. As I was bouncing from orientation to orientation, I guess during that time when I was in all those orientations, you were probably in a spelling class because you can't spell truck or trucker or successful or nothing else. All you can do is come on here and troll. Here he goes. He still can't spell truck. Skyline, a guy who never drove a truck in their life, told me the same thing. It won't take rocket science to know buying a cash truck is a gamble. Shaking my head. Oh boy, 412. I thought they kicked you out of here, but I guess you had got in a bunch of comments before they did. I'm going to tell you something else, 412, and I've said this in other videos. The people that watch my channel, and this isn't pandering or anything else, they're generally really smart people that have been in trucking a while, and I know that by the analytics. I can see the age groups, and I get a lot of emails and phone calls and things like that. I just assume you coming in here that you were one of them, but you're not. You're beneath them, and I actually feel sorry for you. How lonely and pathetic and sad your life must be that you've got to come in here and edify yourself by telling us how much you've accomplished in your life, allegedly, and you feel like it elevates you to put other people down. How about this? Why don't you try this, 412? if you got so much knowledge and advice and you see me messing up so bad, offer me advice. Tell me how I can improve. Tell me how I can be more like you. But the truth is, you don't know anything about me. You've probably never watched one of my videos. Some of your troll friends, you've heard what they've made up about me, or you've seen another video from somebody else, and you thought, man, I'm going to take their knowledge. It's probably true, and I'm going to come in here and spew it. And it just shows me how ignorant you are. Because if you really had any knowledge, if you was really a truck driver with some experience, you would have come in here and tried to debate me. But you don't have any facts. You're a lot like that guy. And I watched the video that debated Charlie Kirk that ended up shooting him. He lost that debate bad. He tried to debate him on abortion, transgender, everything else. And that's what clowns like you do when they don't have any facts. They come in here and they name call and they tell people how successful they are and how much they've accomplished, but they don't have any facts. And I'm at a disadvantage when you do that. I don't know your work history. I don't know you personally. Trust me, right now I'd like to know you personally, but I don't know you personally. All I know is that you're a lowlife and that I feel sorry for you. And I bet you're a loner, and I bet you don't have any friends. And I bet you if your life went south tomorrow, if you had 15 strokes like I did, nobody would care. And that's sad. I hope your life changes. I hope it gets better, because you're a sad, sad man. And now you think the answer is to come in here and insult my friends, insult my viewers. And it's not helping you. If anything, it's helping me. And remember when I told you that the people that watch this channel are generally smart? They see right through you too. So you're not hurting them either. They see what a scumbag you are. Goal to go options, the battle for last place in the NFC East. Oh man. I was calling the Cowboys Giant game today the toilet bowl, because I expected it to be a really bad game. And it turned out to be a really exciting game. I think both teams played very well today, except for the penalties. .412, you need to learn how to spell. Ha ha ha. I'm sorry. No, Becca, you're right. That's funny. I mean, I'm sure he was going to come in here and tell us he was a college professor, and that he was the know-all of trucking, but he can't even spell successful in truck or trucker. And he's succeeded at all these things, and he doesn't have a snowball's clue. But he's helping the channel. He's made the comments go up, so that's going to make this video go out to more people. And he hadn't offended anybody. Does anybody think Skyline's going to quit coming in here because he said something bad about Skyline? No, Skyline don't care what he thinks. Does anybody think he's going to discourage me that I'm going to go into RE Garrison tomorrow and go, I was going to work here, but 412 said I'm an idiot, so I think I'm going to quit. 412 said I'd be in another orientation in a couple of weeks anyway, so I think I'm going to quit. No, it ain't going to happen. I didn't wake up this morning going, I don't know how I feel about myself, but I know 412 don't like me, so I guess I don't like me either. No, I woke up with probably 20 emails this morning, probably 10 or 12 texts, and 4 or 5 missed calls, and that's on a Sunday. And I knew right then, hey, I've got friends, because not all of them wanted trucking stuff. Some of them just want to say hi, see what I thought about the game today, find out how truck selection was going, things like that. But you know what you call those people? Friends. I don't call them viewers. I don't call them fans. I got actual friends. Some of them pray for me. They tell me, hey, Todd, we're praying for you. And you know what 412 doesn't have, as successful as he's been in his life? No friends. Nobody that cares about him. If he had people, he wouldn't be so bitter and feel like he needed to come in here and put other people down. Roger Berry, don't be sorry, Becca. Heck, for or at least be fluent in English. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I think I know who that troll is, by the way. And it's not who Newman Attack thinks it is. Newman Attack channel member Becca 412 is the area code for Pittsburgh. Ah, you know, it wouldn't surprise me. Hey, Newman Attack, you don't think it's anybody from our group just having fun with me, do you? Becca, ha ha ha. Roger, this guy is straight up one of the ones who needs to be out of here. Yeah, I think we kicked him out. I was going to do it, and I think somebody else did it. I went ahead and did it too to make sure. I didn't even give him a timeout because when he was asked to stop, he didn't stop. I did what they call hide from the channel. So all he can do is watch. He's in the penalty box. And at one point, I let everybody out of the penalty box, but and I may let him out at some point because he may have a change of heart. If he actually watches a few of my videos, I guarantee you he's never watched a video. He's one of these truck stop geniuses that he's watched a troll channel and they told him this stuff and he's like, oh, it must be true. I'm going to go on there and say some stupid stuff. But what he should have done is said, I'm going to go learn how to spell and then I'll go on there and say some stupid stuff. Newman Attack, channel member, I wonder if 412 is the kid that tried to start a fight with me at the Niagara plant. He's probably a cousin of that guy. I'm betting he's never seen the inside of a truck. And that truck that he's got pictures of is probably a family member's truck. And who knows where he's getting the titles. These days with AI, you shouldn't believe anything you see. You can make a title on AI that looks pretty real for YouTube purposes, for thumbnails and things like that. He's an idiot if he's got his real, you want to talk about an idiot, if he's got his real title posted on his page with the VIN number, that's not very smart at all. That's got his personal information on there, address, name, VIN of the truck. How do I know? I've had titles before, and you can bet your tail end I never put them on the internet for people to see. I paid cash for that one truck when I left Swift. So yes, I've had a title in my name. And I've had titles that were in my name with a lien holder, like when I got the Kenworth after that accident. So, I mean, by his metrics, I've owned a truck too. I've done everything he's done. And if he's really doing it, then he knows what the economy's like right now. And if all of us are being honest, none of us are killing it right now. We're all hoping things get better soon. Yeah, Becca says, she said basically what I just said. He probably hasn't even done all that, to be honest. Yeah, you know what's funny is we all do the same thing, whether we're owner-operator, whether we're lease purchase, whether we're company driver. We all deliver freight from point A to point B. And I don't know why we as a trucking community have decided that certain groups are better than other groups. We're all taking freight from point A to point B, whether we're flatbed, reefer, or dry van. And I don't understand it. We feel like we got to put somebody down. Well, I'm an owner-operator, and he's only lease purchase. Or I'm a lease purchase. I'm just like an owner-operator. But at least we're not a company driver. What's wrong with being a company driver? That's all there was for a long time. What's wrong with being a company driver? I got to tell you, when I was looking for a job, I looked at more company driver jobs than I did lease purchase jobs. It's just of the ones I got approved for in the time I had to devote to it, RE Garrison was the best option. There were some other options I considered, and I may do videos about those companies because they weren't bad outfits either. One of them was a terrible company, I thought, and they've made a lot of changes, and I seriously considered going there. All right, folks, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to the bathroom real quick, so All righty, we're back. Skyline says, CB Rambos, they are still out there. Yes, sir, they still exist. There's always hate and discontent in trucking. Russell Owens, I enjoy your videos. Don't pay attention. Don't pay haters no mind. I appreciate that. I just think it's funny. And I talked about it in the last video. People that don't go to church because they say they've already read the Bible, they know everything. If you really know everything about the Bible, now, if you don't believe, I get it. Don't go to church. But if you really know everything there is to know about the Bible and you have all the answers, then you should go to church and share your knowledge with people that ain't quite at your level yet. And same thing for him. If he has all the answers to trucking, while there's guys out here struggling on the spot market, on the contract freight, then by all means, come in here and share your knowledge. Tell us how we can be as successful as you. Don't come in here and make fun of the host and make up a bunch of stats about yourself that ain't true. Oh boy, I'm fixing to get in trouble here. Newman Attack, channel member. You taught me something, Todd. You taught me that someone who you thought was your friend will block you from everything and lie about why for commenting on another man's show. It just makes sense. That's another inside joke between me and him. Nobody be mad at Newman. Yeah. Oh boy. Sometimes I don't know how to articulate what I want to say. There's been a lot of that. What I've learned in the YouTube world, so let me go that direction. What I've learned in the YouTube world is people will turn on you, and people that I thought were really, really good friends will turn on you if they think it'll get them a few more clicks on their channel. The guy that actually, and it's not who y'all are thinking of, I don't even know if he has a channel anymore. He had like 1,500 subscribers back when he helped me get my channel going. And I thought he was a huge YouTuber. And he gave me a lot of advice, how to do things, taught me how to do a lot of things. And one day he turned on me. I've lost countless friends. There's a guy that used to come in here, and it didn't matter what we were talking about. He'd always bring up politics. And I let him do it because we were good friends, and we became really good friends. We had lunch together a couple times, and he did something that was very betraying to me, and we had to part ways. And so I hate that it comes to that. But, yep, I totally understand your comment there, Newman. All right, we got a big deal here. Newman Attack, channel member, just gifted 5 more memberships. Now, we don't have any control over who those go to, but I'm going to read to you who got a channel membership. It'd be Trucker D, Chris Hamilton, Josh Escobar, Demonicus, and LJ June. So congratulations to all of you and your channel memberships. Thank y'all for taking the time out of your busy days to watch. And I appreciate all of you being here for sure. Becca, he probably lives at home with his mama too. But, and I'm not putting anybody down that does this. For 4.5 years, we basically lived in the truck. We used my mom's address for our mail, but we didn't stay there really. We stayed in the truck everywhere we went. And we had a lot of good times. I enjoyed it. It's nice to have a place to come home to. I've got a apartment now. I've had it for about 1.5 years. And to be quite honest, I don't like it. I like it better when we had the RV. I don't know that we'll do an RV again, but we'll probably get a house or a trailer house when this lease ends in April. And if I could figure a way out of my lease, we'd get one sooner than that. We're not happy there. The landlord can be difficult to deal with. She's just an old grouch. And so we're looking at other options for sure. Somebody sent me a derogatory message about if I still lived in a camper and in a campground, and I never lived in a camper in a campground. I lived in a pretty nice travel trailer with electric fireplace, with three slide outs, all kinds of stuff. Very nice one, 29 foot for several years, and we enjoyed it. We really did. It flooded and ruined it, and so that was the end of that. We had to get an apartment, and that's what we did. But we seriously considered buying another one when that happened, because I'm gone. I'm home 4 or 5 days a month usually. And, it doesn't make sense to have a yard. I got to figure out how it gets mowed and stuff to take care of. It's nice to just have it there when I need it. And some people don't even get a place like that. Some people just stay in hotels when they go for home time. But you'd be surprised how many people have looked down on me for that. And at the time when we did it was in style, we knew lots of people that were doing it. Still in contact with lots of people that still do it. It's, I don't know why, and I guess that's the point I was getting to earlier. I don't know why we feel like we got to put other people down to make ourselves feel good. Newman Attack, channel member. These memberships are gifted in memory of my friend James. Love you, miss you. All right, James, well, thank you for your contribution to the channel. Newman Attack, channel member, also says, I guess this is to James, and don't drop the soap. Becca's getting a kick out of Newman. Yeah, let me tell y'all something about Newman. He's one of the funniest people you'll ever meet. He'll have you rolling. And he called me yesterday, and we were talking about some stuff, and I had him laughing. And sometimes, right now especially, if you're going through a tough time and things are looking gloom and doom and you're feeling bad, try to find something to laugh about. Listen to your favorite comedian. Watch your favorite TV show that's funny, or whatever you do to lift your spirits. You'd be surprised what a good, hard, what they call in the South, a belly laugh. One of those laughs that's real hard and deep, and it makes your stomach hurt. You'd be surprised what a good old laugh will do for your situation and for your stress. I don't care what it is, how bad it is. Try to find something to laugh about. Maybe it's laughing at me. I'm okay with that. Just make sure you click the thumbs up. See, I always work this in. Share this video on your social media platforms and subscribe. After you do that, make fun of me all you want. We'll laugh together. Sometimes I make fun of me on here. It's okay. Hubby said this idiot needs to learn how to use the letter K. Yes, we're going to be like Sesame Street. Today's episode is brought to you by the letter K. Robbie Ross, channel member and moderator. Wow, Haterade has been passed out. Yeah, I think the moderators are taking care of a lot of the comments before I even see them. Remember, if they're being semi-respectful, let's talk to them. Let's see what they got to say. But if they get like 412 did, let's get them out of here. That doesn't move the ball forward any. Sometimes it makes for a good show if somebody has legitimate things they disagree with me on. But if most of what they're saying is not true, it doesn't advance the ball any. And the little things that are true is probably stuff we already know. None of us are perfect. I'm 52 years old. If I run all of your lives for the past 52 years, there are going to be spots where I go, man, you were really smart. That was genius what you did. And then there's going to be times I'm going to be like, man, why the heck did you do that? It's real easy to judge other people. It's real easy to judge public people that put their stuff out there. But it's real hard to look at yourself and realize in most cases, you're guilty of the same things I am. and you say, no, Todd, I've never done anything. Well, then your credit score should be an 850. If your credit score is not an 850, odds are you've burned somebody at some point. You made a payment late. You did something wrong. I mean, it's funny to me, and trucking's the worst about it. People come on here and act like they're perfect. And I don't have time to research everyone and find out if they're telling the truth or not. I really hope he is as successful as he says he is. But I'll tell you right now, all the successful people I know, millionaires, and I know guys that own car lots that are millionaires. I know lawyers and doctors that are millionaires. And none of them find solace in going around and putting other people down. If anything, they're trying to help other people get to where they're at. Now, they're not going to write you a check, but they'll say, hey, man, this is what I did in my business and it worked for me. Have you ever tried this? Or I know a person that owns a marketing company. They'll say, hey, have you tried this type of way to market your stuff? I know a person that their father-in-law owns a printing company, and they do all types of advertising. I've asked them questions before. And some of you that have experience in areas that I don't, I've contacted you and said, hey, can you give me advice on this? Can you educate me on this? I've never had to call any of you and ask you how to spell the word truck or successful or trucker. So fortunately, none of you have ever had to give me a spelling lesson, and I'm grateful for that. Ted Van Buskirk, I've learned a lot from you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, Ted, thank you. Ted's been a really good friend, too. And we've known each other for a while. And to hear these trolls, I've never helped anybody. I've gone company to company looking for referral bonuses. Do you know what they can't find? They can probably find somebody that I got a referral bonus off of. They can't find anybody that I got a referral bonus off of that said I lied to them to get them to a company, or that says they feel like I ripped them off. Now, maybe there's one out there. I've never met one. Nobody's ever emailed me and said, hey, I went to that company and I feel like you lied to me just to get a referral bonus. Now, since I've said that statement a couple of times this week, somebody will email me and go, well, Todd, I feel like you did that to me. And do you know how hard it'll be for me to verify if that's true or not? But I don't think there's anybody out there, and if it is, it's their fault, because what do I tell y'all? Every one of you, hey, stay in touch with me. Let me know how it goes. If you have any problems, I'll help you. Give me a call. And we haven't had to do that. So there you go. Roger Berry, Todd, so you ever hear from Skyhook Trucker? I haven't seen him on here in a long time. He's not talking to me anymore. He's one of those friends I lost along the way. If you'll give me a call, I'll tell you the story. I don't want to litigate it on YouTube. And after I tell you the story, you're welcome to reach out to him and get his side of the story. I don't think he'll dispute anything I'm saying. We actually got in a disagreement about another guy that used to be on this channel a lot. And I hurt his feelings, so he don't want to talk to me no more. But I'll be happy to tell you the story. Roger Berry is one of my good friends that contacted me this week with some concerns, and I sent him the proof he needed to at least know my side of the story. I don't know if he feels better about the situation or not, but I told him my side of events. Becca, hubby is lurking, by the way. Well, good deal. I hope he comes in here. Roger Berry, wasn't he the guy that does? Yeah, he's the one that made the Todd Tuggers, and I've still got a few of those. And he's a good guy, but he was passionately defending a mutual friend of ours that did something really bad. And there wasn't a way for me to defend it. And the guy that he was defending, him and his girlfriend both said, yeah, what we did wasn't right. But then they would go off and talk about it like I was a bad guy for not liking it. So I don't want to litigate it in here, but if if you reach out to me, call me again like you did, I'll give you the details. I wish it would have come up in our phone call and I would have told you then. But yeah, I've actually had that happen several times, and I'll be happy to talk with you about it off air. George Wilmoth, which is Becca's husband, also referred to in here as hubby, says, hello, everyone. Hey, George, thank you for being here. Ooh, we've gone almost 2 hours. The time has flown. Becca, there he is. He had to wait for his 10 minutes to be up. Oh, he wasn't already subscribed. Well, I'm glad he's subscribed now. We do that. It keeps the trolls from popping in just to say something mean and popping out. At least they got to subscribe if they're going to spread hate and discontent. Yes, it's all good, sir. It's not for me to judge. No, I want you to know I'll get in contact with you and we'll talk about it. All right, we're caught up on the comments. I did it a second ago, but let's do it again. Everybody give this video a thumbs up. Share it on your social media platforms and make sure you're subscribed. After you subscribe, you got to click the bell and then select all so that it sends you a little notification when future videos come out. All of those things are free to do. They really help the analytics and help the channel out in a lot of ways. So I appreciate everybody being here tonight, and this gives y'all a chance to type some comments while I'm doing that. I did not put it to the other 4 or 5 platforms yet. Was having some technical difficulties before the show. So after the show, I'll send it to the other platforms, and we'll probably get a lot more views later than what we had so far. Robbie Ross, channel member, moderator. I'm a owner of a Tugger. I still have my Cowboys one. Yeah, I've still got quite a few of them that he sent me, and I like them. I'm not currently using one, but I still have them. Well, I'm not currently using one because I don't have a truck. I should have said that. I didn't have one in my last truck. A lot of that stuff was packed up. But I'm trying to get some of that stuff unpacked. And it works better in some trucks than other trucks. Like in a Kenworth, it works real good because the little air horn thing's in the middle. On a Freightliner, it doesn't work as well because sometimes if you roll your window down for a brief moment while you're driving and have to roll it back up, it'll get stuck in the window. It'll blow out the window and hang out the window. Things like that. But most of the time, they're pretty cool to have. All righty, the comments have really died down. I should have left 412 in here. We don't have anybody to argue with. Everybody in here is pretty much in agreement. If y'all got anything else, we can talk about it. Blues Trucker 412 is about as sharp as a bowling ball. Yeah, I'm sure I'll be on all the other channels later tonight, and they'll pick apart everything I've said, but they don't realize every time they share this video out, it helps. The best way they could hurt me is to stop watching, and they'll never do that. Robbie Ross, channel member moderator, you noticed it on my truck when we met? Yes, sir, I sure did. We only got to see each other, though, for like 5 or 10 minutes. One of these days, we're going to hang out and go to a game or something. Becca says, ha ha, yeah. Todd Packer, did you H? I don't know what H is. George says, about as bright as a 1 watt light bulb, half burnout. Yeah. But there's a market for that. If he would start a YouTube channel, there'd probably be 40 or 50 dimwits that would watch it every week. And he could show us all these trucks he's paid off and his trailers, and he could show his titles on the screen, and his viewers could teach him how to spell. It'd be a great channel. Skyline, he called you dumb. Yes, sir, he did. I wouldn't lose any sleep over it, though. Don't let it hurt your feelings for sure. Roger Berry says, Chiefs lose another one. Yeah, I bet my uncle is pretty tore up over it. He's a big Chiefs fan. I like the Chiefs, but just not as much as the Cowboys. Becca says, it's about time the Chiefs lost some games. Todd Packer, did you get your truck? Sorry, phone glitch. No, so they do truck selection Monday through Friday. And Friday, they only had one more truck to look at, and nobody took it to the best of my knowledge. At first, I thought I wanted it, and then I found some problems with it that were deal breakers for me. And so Saturday and Sunday, there's nothing to do. Tomorrow, we'll look again. They said they're getting 12 trucks over the weekend, and they don't know how many they'll have ready by Monday because they have a skeleton crew on the weekends. And they mainly focus on already seated drivers' trucks to get them rolling so they can deliver their loads. So not mad at all because they told us up front. I knew before I even left Lubbock that this was going to be the case. And they told us up front that what Monday's going to look like, even though they're getting the 12 trucks. Obviously, if they come in and all they need is cleaning, then they'll be out pretty quick and we'll have a pretty diverse selection. There's about eight of us that are still waiting on a truck. And if they get them in, they need a lot of work. It could delay it a day or two. So either way, I'm good. I figure by Tuesday I'll have a truck, but I'm supposed to be up there at noon tomorrow to look to see what they've got ready. And we'll go from there. As soon as I get one, though, I'll put out a video. I'll show y'all the truck, tell you what I got. I can tell you it'll be a Freightliner, but beyond that, I can't tell you much. I'm looking to get a 23 or 24, but I may not be able to. We'll just have to see what's available. Well, I'm going to tell everybody a little secret. Skyline says he ignores people like that. I don't, because as long as we can keep it semi-respectful, it helps the channel. Like the other guy was saying, it helps in the algorithm because it shows activity and interest in the channel. So, I mean, if he wants to debate back and forth about, I don't know, if SRO was a good move or a bad move, or if going to the spot market is better right now, or percentage or mileage pay, which one's better, or if he wants to debate, if a fuel surcharge is a good thing or a bad thing, or if an APU is a good thing or a bad thing. I don't mind debating those things, especially if we can keep it respectful, because we both learn when there's open discussion. I think that's one thing that Charlie Kirk tried to push, was having an open dialogue, having an open discussion. And but when we talk about I failed at everything at life and I'm a loser and nobody listens to me, everybody just laughs at me, we go down that road, there's nothing to be learned. But everybody falls in one camp or another. And there's three basic camps. Either they like me, they hate me, or they don't care either way. And so us debating if I'm a good guy or a bad guy, it doesn't move the ball forward. And so I don't see the point in doing it. Newman Attack, channel member. Todd, you can have my truck. I'll go jack it on the corner in San Diego. So we had a guy here that got a truck very early. Some of us feel like he might have got it under questionable circumstances because as soon as what they do, they gather you up and then they give you a list and tell you a little bit about each of the trucks. And then you go out and look at them. And after you've looked at it, if you want it, you bring the keys back and they assign it to you. Well, this guy, as soon as they released us, he was in a full sprint directly to that truck. He grabbed the keys and ran up there and said, I want that one. Didn't look at it at all. Well, you and I both know what he did. He went and looked at it the night before or earlier that day. He got some inside knowledge from somewhere. And so we were teasing him. His first load was going to New Jersey. And hopefully he knew, but we were telling him stuff like, make sure you take toll roads the whole way up. Make sure you park at Walmart. Heck, drop your trailer and go look around New Jersey. Now, I really hope he didn't do none of that stuff, but we were having a lot of laughs to his face at his expense because we all knew what he did. But anyway, I haven't seen him back at the terminal, so I guess his truck did well and he's making money. And I believe you reap what you sow, and if you do good, good will come back on you, and if you do bad, bad will come back on you. And so he's got to live with the decisions he made. Like I told all of them, I ain't going to fight any of them for a truck. If they want it that bad, they can have it. I'll take the next one. And so far, everybody else has been pretty cool. We all kind of look at it together and all kind of collectively decide whose truck it'll be. Everybody knew I liked that one on Friday, but and they were kind of asking me, you want it? And after I looked it over, I said, no, here's why. And so I passed on it. George says, if I was leasing a truck, I'd want to be the one to pick it out. I tolerate them picking trucks for me when I'm a company driver. Oh, yeah, you definitely pick it out here. I did work at a company about 10 years ago that they said, this is what you get. They just assigned you a truck. And I didn't like that. It's like, hey, I'm expected to pay for something that I had no say-so in. Would you buy a house without selecting the house yourself? Because you're basically going to be living in that truck. And guys were like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. And if you really put your foot down, then they'd give you something else. But for the most part, it was like, all right, orientation's over. Here's the keys to your truck. You got the white one over there. You got the red one over there. And I wasn't a big fan of that deal. Becca, Newman. Yeah, he's a funny guy. Todd Packer, are you getting paid sitting? Yes. We're the first class they ever did it for because they usually got trucks. But this particular time they didn't have the trucks back, and so they are paying us while we wait for trucks to come in. Now, if we get midweek and they've got trucks and I'm just being picky to be picky, then no, they'll stop the paying and it'll be on my dime. But I got to tell you the truth, honestly, I promise you, everything here has been handled very ethically, very up and up. I was saying earlier in the video, I did some tests on them, and all of us drivers have tests we do on companies, and they passed every one of them with flying colors. Everything they've told me has either been what they said or better than what they said. So I'm feeling pretty good about being here right now. And it takes some of the pressure off at looking at a truck. You don't feel like you got to take something just to get going. But they kind of want you to tell them what you're looking for so they can be looking for it. And I was joking with them. I said, I'll take any color Mac or Peterbilt that you have on the lot. And they got a good laugh out of that because all they have is Freightliners. And then I was like, well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna broaden my horizons. If you get a Peterbilt 389, I'll take it too. And they thought that was funny as well. Just kind of lightening the mood a little bit. But I'm not super picky. I'd like something 300,000 to 400,000 miles, 22, 23 model. I would like a flashy color because it looks better in the videos. I don't want a plain white truck. But that's not a deal breaker. If something comes in and it checks all the other boxes, but I don't like the color, I'll still take it. So we'll just see what happens. But, man, I couldn't have and I guess I've been blessed because I felt the same way about SRO Logistics. He treated me very good as well. And so it's nice when companies keep their word and do what they say they're going to do. And I'm looking forward to getting out there and pulling some freight. Not really excited about doing reefer freight, but I've got a lot of experience doing it. So we got to do what we got to do. All right, somebody may have to help me with this question. Packer wants to know, who are we talking about? We had a troll in here earlier that was name calling and putting everybody down, both me and a lot of the people that are viewing the videos and the comments. And he got bad enough we had to oust him. And so we may be talking about that. If you're talking about the company I'm talking about, we're talking about RE Garrison, which is on my hat, which is where I went to work at last Monday. Todd Packer, someone making videos about you every day of my life for the last 4 years, it seems like. I don't even watch anymore. The people that know me personally know what's fact and what's fiction. The people that have talked to me through email or text or phone calls know me, and that's my target audience, is people that know the truth. The people that don't know me, they're going to believe what they believe, and that's just the way it is. Becca says she was talking about Newman. Yeah, he's a funny guy. George says runs after Little Debbie truck that just went by. Yeah. That I just, I may have shared this in a video recently. I watch a lot of the shows on Netflix when they have, the serial killers on there, and I'm always watching them. Why would a guy do that? Why would a guy think like that? And I'm kind of the same way when I get a guy like that in here. I start thinking, what makes that guy tick? If he's really had this great life that he claims to have had, and I hope he has, why can't he spell? And if he's really had this great life, why does he get pleasure in going on another YouTube's channel and making fun of him and talking bad about him? And by his own admission, sharing my videos out and laughing at me with his friends. Shouldn't he be running that highly successful business that he's created? And man, if he's really done all those things, that'd make a great YouTube channel. Why don't he start a YouTube channel? He can't spell. Can he work his camera? George says he has no consideration. I don't know. I just wonder what makes him tick. Newman Attack, channel member. Yeah, so me too. I was looking for one. There's not one around here. Looks like there used to be, but they've gone out of business. And I don't think there's a White Castle down here either. There is a Johnny's barbecue here that everybody says I need to try, but barbecue's expensive. I'm trying to live on a shoestring budget right now. Okay, I'm not going to say the name of that channel, but I'm going to irritate them just for the heck of it. The trolls are not from the South, and they get irritated when I say this, and we're not leaving yet, but y'all have a good night. They've never been to the South. Again, if my Southern accent and the way I talk and the subjects on my channel irritate them so much, why do they keep watching? What's in it for them? What's in it for me is they're helping my algorithm. They're helping my channel. They're helping me get that $9 a month they think I'm getting. Skyline Trucker, I'm glad Creek Carrier gives their discount in my fuel surcharge. I just fuel at $2.84 a gallon, and that's without the 39-cent fuel surcharge. Yeah, you're going to make money on that deal. And full disclosure, I applied at Creed at one time, and it was they were unable to hire me because of that accident. They said it had to be 5 years old, but Creed looked like they were having a pretty good program over there. It's not a lease purchase. It's actually a purchase. And if you guys are interested in it, check out Skyline's channel. Go over and subscribe to him, and he'll tell you all about it. Newman Attack channel member. Newman Attack wants to know about Crete. Newman, I can give you Skyline's information if you want to reach out to him, or if Skyline wants to put his email in here, somebody can reach out to him and get the details on it. George says Crete wouldn't hire him either. Yeah. They're pretty picky, but I don't blame them. I think it's good when trucking companies are picky. All right, we're caught up on the comments. We're at 2 hours and 17 minutes. Has anybody got anything else? The viewership's kind of dropped off a little bit. If not, we'll go ahead and end it. I'm just looking at a couple of things real quick. All right, we got more comments. Let's get them in here. George says, apparently I was too demanding for them when I applied because I wanted something they couldn't offer me. Yeah, sometimes it's just not a good fit when you apply somewhere. Becca says, Skyline, I gave you a sub. I'm always down to showing support when I can. Thank you for doing that, Becca. He's a good guy. You'll get a lot of good information off his channel. Newman Attack channel member, I called the broker Integrity today. The guy that answered told me I could only contact the broker by email because he was in Russia. It's time for regulation. Yeah, that's a problem with these foreign-owned companies. Is if something goes south, they can pick you. You can get in trouble because you're here in the United States, but most of them are in Serbia or Russia or somewhere like that. So they just close the business and open another one. I don't know how we got in the chaos we are in now. Actually, I do know. They wanted cheaper labor, and they thought anybody could drive a truck. And they're learning that it takes a certain skill set and ability to do that. But the good news is, Newman, I bet by probably 9 a.m. in the morning you'll have a load. You'll be burning up the streets. But anyway, I think we've sufficiently ticked off enough trolls tonight that we can wrap this one up. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. We got one more comment. Becca says, we ran into those problems with the companies we worked for before. Yeah, I got a good friend that he goes to Russian companies and he keeps having the same result over and over. And I try to get him to come over here with me, or, to go to one of the companies that I've had a good experience at. And he keeps trying the Russian companies, but I hope it works out for him. I never tell him, see, I told you so, or nothing like that. It just, some people, they got to learn for themselves. Newman Attack channel member, I may have a load, but I've been sitting here since 12:15 yesterday. Wow. That's a long time to sit. How long till, and I could do the math, but I'm thinking tomorrow morning you'd have a 34 in, wouldn't you, and start your hours all over? But even if you don't get a 34, you probably gained back enough you could just run recaps. All right, folks. Let's go ahead and wrap this and call it a night. Let me do something real quick. All right, let's do it one more time because it irritates the trolls. Wait. Hang on, we keep getting more stuff. I don't want to leave while y'all are going. Newman Attack channel member would have already had a 34, but I tripped my ELD at Walmart yesterday. Yeah, I get it, man. All right, y'all say it with me. Let's irritate the trolls. Y'all have a good night. We'll catch you on the next video. Hopefully I'll be reporting that I have a truck next time I do a video. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.